What is up, y'all? It is episode 29 of the Sci-Fly Zone, and today's destination is going to be taking us to the Western Division of the American League and the National League of Major League Baseball, as those are basically the last two divisions that have a team contending for first place. So we are going to be breaking that down today because that is important stuff. In the American League and National League Central and Eastern divisions, it is pretty much set in stone who's going to be in first place now, as most of those teams are 5 or more games out. But nothing's impossible. We're not ruling anything out. No one's clinched yet. I would say the only definitive team for sure that's making the playoffs out of all the first place teams as of right now is the Brewers, which we will be talking about them very soon in this episode. But yeah, we're going to be breaking down the American League and National League Western divisions and breaking down the teams who are currently fighting for first place. So yeah,
let's get into it. Let's talk about those Brewers that you alluded to, because they have had some incredible couple of weeks. In fact, a couple of undefeated weeks where they went 14-0, 14-game win streak for a franchise record. And this was, I mean, the Brewers were the best team before this stretch, but after this stretch, it's like not really close anymore. Like, they are the best team in baseball. They have 5 more wins than the next best team. They started this stretch off 64-44, and now they're 78-45. So they are, it's really not close with anybody else. And this streak had pretty much everything. It had some close games, it had some extra innings wins, it had some blowout games, and it ended with them actually getting walked off in extra innings. So obviously kind of tough to see the streak come to an end, but it ended in a very exciting way.
Yeah, 100%. Some of the players who helped the Brewers get to this point: Christian Yelich in August, he slashed a .356 average with 5 home runs, 17 RBIs, and a 1.077 OPS. William Contreras, he's hitting .328 with a 1.054 OPS with 5 home runs and 16 RBIs. And also, just to keep it brief, because honestly, I could list the entire lineup this month. I could highlight all of them. They all deserve being noted, but we got to keep it a little brief here. So the last guy I'm going to list here is Bryce Turang. He's in his 3rd full season, but by far his most complete one. And this month, he's hitting .333 with 14 RBIs and a 1.166 OPS. The Brewers' bats are hot.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And that's a huge reason why they have been so successful for these last 2 weeks, because everything is going well for them. Everybody is playing hard and everybody is being successful. So when everybody in the lineup is successful, it's hard not to win games, you know?
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, the pitching is still some of the best in Major League Baseball. The team is averaging a 3.34 ERA during the month of August. So when you're having one of the best offenses in baseball, that's a great recipe for success right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say the exact same thing. Especially in playoff time, this is very important to have. You know, you need to have, like we've mentioned before, there's no such thing as a comfortable lead in the playoffs. You know, it just takes like 1 or 2 innings for a team to take a 8-run deficit to make it like a 2-run game. So when you have guys on the offense who can score a lot of runs for you, and then also have guys in the rotation who can go deep into games and prevent a lot of runs, not to mention how good the bullpen is. You know, Trevor McGill and Abner Uribe have been some of the best relievers in baseball this year. So, I mean, like I said, everything is going well for the Brewers, and they're easily the favorite at this point, I would say, to win the World Series. I mean, they've got according to Baseball Reference, they have a 99.9%, greater than 99.9% chance of making the playoffs. And they have a 22.
Why not just say 100 at that point?
Yeah, I don't know. It's 99.999999.
Yeah.
And they have a 22.2% chance of winning the World Series, which is definitely the biggest margin of any team.
Yeah, and you make a good point on how the win streak came at a good time, because honestly, if I were to pick between having a 14-game win streak in April or May instead of July or August, I'm taking July or August every day.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
And also to go on top of what you were saying with Trevor McGill and Abner Uribe, this month they have been the Brewers' best relievers. I mean, Trevor McGill, he's made 6 appearances and he has a 1.50 ERA. And Abner Uribe, he's got 7 appearances and he's got nothing ERA. He's got nothing.
Wow.
And he's also averaging 15.4 Ks per 9 this month.
Oh my gosh.
and Miguel is averaging 12. So
Wow.
pretty crazy.
Those two guys coming in is going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, dude. So the game in question, the game that decided the win streak, if it was going to continue or not continue, they were facing the Cincinnati Reds. They had already taken 2 out of 3 versus them. So they were 1 game away from completing the sweep versus Cincinnati. And the Reds had Andrew Abbott going against the Brewers veteran Jose Quintana. And holy crap. This game, both teams pitched phenomenal.
Yeah, this was absolutely a pitcher's duel. This was a very good game. 2 lefties on the mound, too. Neither guy really known for their velocity, more of like a movement control. But yeah, it was a great start from Jose Quintana, but it was a really great start from Andrew Abbott. 7 shutout innings, shutting out the Brewers. Being such a hot team lately is like very impressive.
Very good point.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Abbott has had one of the best seasons out of any starting pitcher this year, and still nobody's really talking about him because he's not like a super flashy pitcher. He doesn't throw 100 like Mizorowski. He doesn't play for the Dodgers, so it's not as many people paying attention to him, but I believe in the next couple of years they will be.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And Cincinnati definitely needs an ace. It seems like as soon as one guy gets healthy for them, another guy just goes under. As soon as Hunter Green came back, Chase Burns, that's his name, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It was either Chase or Corey. It got in my head, but yeah, Chase Burns on the IL now. I forget exactly what it was, but the reason I know that is because I have both of them on my fantasy team, so I noticed it. But yeah, and with Cincinnati being so close to a playoff run, I mean, they're within 2 games of the final wild card spot currently in the National League. They really need to have guys that they can rely on and not get injured. And, Chase Burns, he has some really nasty stuff, a lot of potential. He throws over 100. He's got some crazy break on his off-speed pitches. But, he does give up a decent amount of runs and walks here and there as well. So, and it doesn't help that obviously he just went on the IL, so they're going to have to rely on other guys. But, yeah, Reds have a lot going on for them. Brewers also have a lot going on for them, especially going into this game. Like CJ mentioned, both guys who were starting for them pitched great, and nobody scored until the 7th inning when Jose Trevino hit a sac fly, scoring Austin Hayes for Cincinnati, who would later also become a nuisance for Milwaukee.
Yeah, not the last time we're going to hear that name.
Yeah. So after that initial run in the 7th inning, the scoring held until the 9th inning, where Anthony Siegler led off the inning for Milwaukee, and he got walked, putting him on first base. And 2 batters later, William Contreras.
2 for the vine. I ain't gonna do it. 2 for the vine. I ain't gonna do it.
Fly ball, deep left center field. It is gone.
I mean, if he were to get a PCI placement on that contact, I would say it's a perfect.
It was a perfect for sure. Yeah.
I was surprised with how low it was to the ground for it to get out, because it was definitely a line drive, but it had the distance. And what's crazy is that it puts Milwaukee up 2-1 in the 9th inning, down 1-0 to put them ahead. And if the writer of the script for this game was a Brewers fan, then today we'd be talking about how the Brewers are currently on a 15-game win streak and are just 9 wins away from tying the National League record for the longest streak. But the baseball gods are firm believers in unpredictability. So CJ, please inform us the rest of the game.
So Will Benson comes up, leads off the inning. It's a ground ball to Bryce Terang, who has been great for the Brewers. We've talked about how good he's been for the Brewers, but not in this moment. Baseball is a weird sport. It gets you at the worst times. Fielding error, first batter gets on base. Yeah, this was, just a really bad start. You don't want to give up a leadoff runner, especially if you have an out there, like, given to you, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the Reds know about that. I mean, they gave up a leadoff runner, and then they gave up a 2-run homer to give up the lead. So, there's a reason why coaches hate giving up a leadoff runner, and for any reason whatsoever, there's a reason coaches are willing to break clipboards over it. I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, 100%. And the reason why coaches hate that is because it can lead to things like this. It can lead to innings like the bottom of the 9th for the Reds, where 2 batters later, Noel V. Marte singles to put runners on first and third. brings up Jose Trevino. He singles for himself, bring in the tie run, singles him to death, basically. So, I mean, Brewers like picked up the lead just like that. Reds tied it immediately. They did not have the lead for a long time. The Reds were not going to be going down easily. So they do end up tying the game here, sending them into extra innings. Reds come up in the bottom of the 10th. They get the bases loaded, and then Austin Hayes, like we mentioned earlier, singles him to death, ends the Brewers streak, bases loaded single to take the win.
Yep.
This was a very exciting game.
Yeah, and the Reds were obviously very, very hyped to end the Brewers streak.
Yeah.
To be the ones to, step in and be like, nope, not anymore. And while it does feel good in the moment, obviously, to be, to take down the big dog per se, they still are 1.5 or 2 games out of the wild card right now. So, got to focus on the next game. And who knows how this is going to affect the Brewers? I doubt it's going to affect them much. I mean, clearly they know how to win baseball games. So I'd imagine this is probably just going to be just another game to them, hopefully.
Yeah, I imagine so. We'll see how exactly the Brewers bounce back and react to this. Maybe this does start a bad stretch for them. Maybe they go on a 14-game losing streak now, It just evens itself out. But I mean, this is a huge win for the Reds too. As you mentioned, like being so close in the wild card, this win keeps them a game and a half out of the wild card, and doing it against a division rival too, and the best team in baseball. Like especially after losing the first 2 games of the series, this was pretty much a must-win game for the Reds, and they did. So they are still very much in contention for the wild card.
Yeah, I love to see it. And we've been talking about how we've been rooting for the Reds because they been keeping their steady pace the whole year. They've been consistently just above average. No one's going to complain about that,
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they've been sneaking around the wild card for 3 months, it feels like. There have been some teams that have gone on good stretches and maybe even gotten into the wild card for a day or two, and then they fall apart. The Giants are one of those teams. They've definitely slowed down. But the Reds have just been there, man. They've been waiting for any team to drop out. And by the way, I mean, this isn't the topic of the video today, but with the way that the Mets have been playing for the last month and a half, there's a very good chance that the Reds can make the playoffs.
Very true. Very true. So with that being said, now that we've highlighted just how crazy the Brewers run has been and how that run has ended, let's move on to our Western standoff with the AL and NL West. So let's start off with the Astros. And I just have a quick monologue about Houston because we have a problem.
We do.
It's crazy how much the Astros have persevered past the cheating scandal back in 2017 in the sense of their ability to still win ball games without having instantly relayed information being computed into signal giving via smashing trash cans. And I hate bringing this up because it definitely goes against the argument of they only won because of the trash cans, which I'm not saying the trash cans didn't help, because they definitely did when they were playing at home in Houston, where they had full control of this information relay system. But you have to acknowledge that in 2017, when they won the World Series, they had the best road record in all of baseball that year. And I don't think they could have implemented this system in many, if any, road games. And most of the evidence points to the cheating also mainly happening in Houston as well. So why do I bring this up? Because the Astros have been good with or without the cheating. And it's obviously not fair when you're one of the best teams without cheating and you do take that extra step to cheat to have full advantage. That's not cool. Obviously, do not condone that. But since they were caught and investigated in 2020, so for reference, I'm going to be taking numbers from 2021 forward. They have the 3rd most wins in all of baseball at 379, behind the Braves at 382 and the Dodgers at 415. So they are a good baseball team, and it sucks how much they actually tainted their image by this cheating scandal. I mean, they have won the West every single year since 2021, and they are on pace for their 5th in a row which only one team in Major League Baseball history in the American League West has won the division 5 times in a row, and that was Oakland from 71 to 75. So, CJ, putting all this into perspective, do any of your feelings change about Houston at all?
I think they do a little bit, actually. You brought up a lot of good points. I do think it's worth mentioning how good the Astros already were, like that season, like you mentioned, on road games seemingly without cheating.
They were the
and
best
how good they
on
were.
road games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And especially like how good they were afterwards too, like after getting caught. You mentioned they had the most wins in the American League since 2021, you know. They have not, I think you can promise, like they haven't been like at least cheating in that way, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe there's gonna be another scandal 5 years down the line.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do feel like it really did taint their reputation a lot. I feel like the Astros, once they like transferred into the American League West, they were like the lovable losers who like were always in last place.
Yeah.
And then basically immediately became like one of the most hated, if not the most hated team in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's still a lot of those guys like who were on that team who aren't even on the team anymore, who still get booed at like stadium, like Bregman, Springer. They get like Correa too. I mean, he's back with the Astros, but yeah. I mean, it really did taint the way that I look at the Astros, and I think
me too. Yeah,
I think I would be able to appreciate what the Astros have done in like the 2020s more if like I had put that into perspective, you know.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to my point about how they've won the West and they're on pace to win the West for 5 years in a row now.
Yeah.
And no one really kind of gives a shit.
Yeah.
Like, no one gives a crap at all.
Not really.
And because they're Houston, because they cheated, and because they really didn't get any consequence from cheating from the higher-ups in Major League Baseball. So the fans and the community took it upon themselves to make them feel some sort of punishment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. 100%.
So I feel like if Major League Baseball had done more to hold them accountable, maybe everyone else in baseball would have been able to forgive them a little easier.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point. I feel like there's probably some of that frustration from the fans are obviously towards the Astros, but also towards like the MLB associates, you know, like the people who are running it at the top, like for not really implementing more like punishment for that, because it kind of, if you're not going to like punish them for cheating and winning the World Series that way, then it doesn't really like stop other teams from wanting to do it in the future. You know what I mean? It doesn't imply that anybody else is going to get punished, you know? So it's it was a very, just a really bad situation all around, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. And again, like I'm an Angels fan. I mean, one of our very first like big clips on our channel was me making fun of Jose Altuve. Like, and I did that just because I don't like the guy because he participated in the cheating. You know, there's no outright confirmation that he did cheat, but that one clip of him being like, "Don't open my jersey,"
I was thinking of the same thing.
Walk-off home run. I'm like, that is way too sus, and his explanation for it was like did not make any sense at all. It just seems like he came up with it. So I feel he participated in that, and like you were saying with other players like Bregman or Correa, people still hold resentment towards them for participating in that cheating scandal, and I still do feel the same way about Jose Altuve, at least to a degree. You know, it's obviously less now that time has gone, but you know, just the overall act and everything has tainted the image, and that sucks because they've been such a spectacular baseball team on both fronts since the cheating scandal, but because of that, no one has been able to really see that.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. I think it does help a little bit that even though I am an Angels fan and I don't really want the Astros to do good, it does help that they have still been successful. And, you know, like some of the guys like Altuve's still having a great year offensively. We don't have to talk about what's going on defense. Don't worry about that. It's okay.
Yeah.
Bregman has been great for Boston. Springer has been great for Toronto. Correa has been great since going back to Houston. Like, these guys are successful with and without cheating, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way about it, is that, like, they didn't really have to cheat because,
Exactly.
I mean, that's the way record in baseball, you know? We could just, like, keep pointing at that. So, yeah, I mean, I think that, I imagine there's going to be, like, when these guys retire, when Jose Altuve retires, I don't think people are going to be pointing at the cheating scandal number one. You know, maybe there's going to be some conversations about it, but overall they're going to be talking about how he's one of the best second basemen of his generation, you know?
Yeah.
So, and like, same thing goes with Bregman, I think, and Correa. Like, these guys are going to have generally positive reputations by the time they retire. I hope so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just wanted to bring that up because they're in first place and they've been in first place for a long time.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to bring that up. And honestly, when I'm looking at these numbers, when you, like, if I'm comparing them, like, to the Brewers, not too strong.
Yeah.
Not too strong. I mean, when I compare the Brewers offense this month to the Astros offense this month, the Astros' most productive player in terms of RBIs, Christian Walker, he's got 10 RBIs. The Brewers have 7 guys with more than 10 RBIs this month.
Wow. That is wild.
Yeah. And the Astros have 1, and it's just 10.
He's barely, wow, dude. The Brewers have been insane.
Yeah, dude. When I look at the Astros offense, man, I don't recognize a lot of these. Like, okay, like, I do recognize them, but like they're not the same, like, team that, you know, like, I think of.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think of Christian Walker when I think of the Astros.
Yeah.
I don't think of Yainer Diaz. I don't think of Ramon Urias. You know, it's crazy.
It is a very different lineup than we've seen in previous. I mean, it's missing, like, some big names. Like, they've been doing all this without Jordan too. He's not even been in the lineup. He's been hurt. He only played 29 games. So, like, it's weird. Like, Mauricio Dubon has been, like, an everyday starter now for them. Like, guys who, and like Jake Myers, like you said, like, guys who have been the backups to some of the big names that we've seen are now the starters. And it's weird.
It is really weird. So their offense has been all right, and the same, I guess, goes with their pitching. Their team ERA this month is 4.93, so that's about 1.5 worse than the Brewers. So if they were to be going against each other, you know, I would put my money on the Brewers for
I think
sure.
That's fair. Yeah, that's probably fair to say.
Yeah, I mean, their best starter this month, Hunter Brown, but I mean, that's been the story kind of for the Astros the whole year. He's got a 1.89 ERA this month, which is just kind of what he's been doing the whole year. So pretty good.
Yeah.
Good for him. We also got Jason Alexander. He's also been doing good for the Astros this month as well. He's got a 1 ERA this month.
Wow.
And yeah.
Wow.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Hunter Brown has been doing incredible. It's been a great breakout season for him.
Yeah.
He's probably going to finish top 3 or 4 in Cy Young this year. Not going to win it because, I mean, it's probably going to be Tarek Skubal, but, you know, he's definitely going to be getting his flowers for it, though. He's been super consistent all year. He's at an ERA like under 2.5 for basically the full season. He's got a 10.3 K per 9 right now.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even like their ace, really, because Framber Valdez has been. I feel like every time we talk about Framber Valdez, I use the word consistent, but that's because he is just incredibly consistent. I feel like you know what you're going to get from him every year, and that's like a top 10 Cy Young finish, you know?
Yeah.
And it seems like he's on pace to do that same thing this year, you know? As of like yesterday or 2 days ago, he had thrown the most innings, faced the most batters in baseball.
Wow.
And he's got an ERA just above 3 at 3.01. So, yeah, man, he's been great for them still. Not to mention the bullpen, too. Josh Hader is one of the best left-handed pitchers in baseball.
Yeah. Although he is not having the best month, though, Framber, unfortunately. He does have a 5.89 ERA this month, which if you have an almost 6 ERA this month through 3 games started, and your season ERA just is barely over 3,
Yeah.
that speaks to how good he's been throughout the whole year. So, he's had 3 iffy starts, this month, but that obviously doesn't speak to his success throughout the whole season.
Yeah, totally. I mean, there's only 6 weeks left in the season, basically. They got 6 weeks to extend that lead over the Mariners.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of the Mariners, Cal Raleigh, I know we've talked about him on a few episodes, but he is so close to breaking the all-time record for most home runs by a catcher in a season. He's just 1 away.
Yeah, man.
TJ, how many more games do you think until he breaks it? I'm going 2 games.
Ooh, until he ties it or breaks it?
Breaks it.
Ooh.
He's breaking it in the next 2 games.
Wow.
That's my take.
I'll go 3. I'll say 3.
All right. Yeah, so either today's game or tomorrow's game, he breaks it.
Wow. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. He's been having an incredible season, one of the best, if not the best catcher season we've ever seen, you know, and he's just been super consistent all year. One of the best, one of the most dangerous hitters in baseball. And I do still want him to win that MVP, man. He's got the most home runs and RBIs in baseball.
100%. Although the Mariners do need to step it up if they do want to make it to the playoffs, because while they are performing good, because they are in the AL West, and the other 3 teams in the AL West, unfortunately, are all just not playing at the level that they want to be playing at. Obviously, no team wants to be under 500 or almost 10 or more games out of. So the Mariners do have that aspect of the division going for them, to where they don't have as many opponents to battle over necessarily, but they do have to battle over the big dog in the AL West, as we were talking about earlier. And their offense, we're just going to kind of be using the Brewers as like the standard of success for this video, just because they are such a good example of what success looks like in Major League Baseball. And yes, it is a very polarizing run that we're comparing it to, but you do need to win ball games. And why not look at a team who won 14 games in a row and see how they're doing and see what numbers they put up to compare to. So
100%.
Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, the Brewers team OPS as a whole was a little over 900. I actually don't know if I mentioned that or not, but the team OPS as an average over 900, pretty crazy. And the Mariners OPS as an offense on average as a team, 0.727.
Wow.
Significantly lower.
Yeah, that's lower than I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And the guy with the most RBIs for the Mariners this month is Cal Raleigh, obviously, but he's doing that while batting .214. And the only other guy who's putting up decent offense is Julio Rodriguez and Josh Naylor. And besides them, the Mariners are not doing too hot right now. Eugenio Suarez is in the slump of his life. Randy Arozarena is right there with him. Cole Young is doing decent. Just the team is not scoring a lot of runs. Yeah,
it seems like there's been some guys who have been doing pretty well overall this season who have just been struggling this month. And like we've mentioned before, this is a bad time for guys to get cold. You want to go on your Brewers hot streaks at this point in the year. So especially when you're like this close to taking the West from the Astros, like the Mariners don't want to settle for a wild card this year. They want to take the division, and they want to show that they are the best team in the West, but they're going to need some more guys to step up if that's going to be the case,
Yeah, because even if they do win the division, that's not a guarantee for them to even make it into the divisional rounds of the playoffs in the first place anyway, now that they've restructured the playoff brackets in the first place. For those who don't know, there are 3 divisional winners in Major League Baseball, and the 2 teams with the best records out of those 3 get buys into the divisional rounds of the playoffs, and then the last team with the worst record who did win the division goes into the wild card along with the 3 other best record teams in both divisions who are not in first place. And then they battle it out until we have 4 teams in each division series, and then it goes to 2v2, then 1v1, and then you got the winner.
Yeah. It's a fun structure. I like that there's more teams in the playoffs this year, but just because you win the division doesn't mean you are going to the division series. You still got to fight another team.
Yep. I do like that aspect. I definitely, makes it more to fight for, and it makes actually dominating your division relative to how other teams are dominating their divisions. It matters more.
Yeah. 100%. Totally.
So the Mariners' upcoming series are the Phillies and the A's. So Phillies are going to be a tough series for sure, and A's are probably going to be fine.
Yeah, not as tough.
Yeah, Phillies have lost Zach Wheeler probably for the month, but he'll probably be back for the playoffs because it said it was just a blood clot in his shoulder. So I would imagine that would not keep him out too long, but they would probably want to rest his arm because he's got $1 million arm,
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so let's switch divisions. Let's go to the National League. The Dodgers and the Padres. They're the 2 teams duking it out for first place. And originally, way earlier in the season, back when we were covering it, it seemed like not only just the Giants, but even the Diamondbacks kind of had a chance at grabbing first place a little bit. Then as time went on, the Dodgers held out, and then the Padres were like 6 or 7 games out of first at one point. And then all of a sudden, the Dodgers started losing a bunch. And then the Angels walked in like they were the Brewers and took them out of first place, putting the Padres in first place. And then the Dodgers were like, no, and then they swept the Padres. So now the Dodgers are currently sitting 2 games ahead of first place, with the Padres just under them in one of the wild card spots, as they are 3 games ahead of whoever else is in the wild card currently. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, man, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. It seemed at one point in the season where, early in the season, it seemed like it was really anybody's game.
Yeah.
And then the Giants and Diamondbacks have definitely slowed down and fallen off. We've mentioned the struggles that the Giants have had recently. But even the Padres were, like you said, they were back 6 games at one point, and then the Dodgers started just playing different baseball than they were playing. They looked like a very different team. They had a lot of guys that were hurt. They were missing a lot of pitchers. Felt like they had like 74 pitchers on the IL or something.
Yeah.
But and the Padres took advantage of it at one point. They've been hanging on. They've been right there with them, kind of like how the Reds have been waiting for another team in the wild card to do bad. The Padres have been waiting for the Dodgers to do bad. Mm-hmm. And for a second, they took advantage of it. They were in first place for a bit. And then that series that they had with each other was kind of...
It was pretty bad.
It sent it back in the other direction. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Dodgers show that, no, they are, in fact, at least for now, the best team in the West.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that they are following up this series with a 4-game series versus Colorado.
Yeah.
Quick 4-game win streak. Some BP. But after this, they are facing the Padres again.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And while the Dodgers are going to be playing the Colorado Rockies, the Padres are going to be playing against the Giants. So a lot of divisional matchups going on here. So we could definitely see some shifts in the standings for sure in the upcoming weeks, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely going to be something to pay attention to. Like we mentioned, there's not a lot of time left in the season. It's gone by very quickly. So it's crunch time now, and teams need to figure out if they're going to be a playoff team or not.
Yep. And let's take a look at some numbers, because we love numbers. Numbers tell a story. No Trevor. How to do it. Anyway, so the Dodgers offense this month, some highlight players. Obviously, Freddie Freeman, he's always going to be there. Thank God. Love that man. Mookie Betts starting to heat up a little bit again. Mookie Betts has 11 RBIs this month. He's batting .254, and he's got a .699 OPS. Can't quite crack that 700 mark. Really close. .001 away. But yeah, what's really crazy, Shohei Ohtani, he has a 1.281 OPS this month.
That is insane.
And keep in mind, most of this is because he has hit 5 home runs and 7 RBIs. So seemingly mostly just a bunch of solo home runs.
Yeah.
And also on top of that, he's gotten walked 15 times. So he's just hitting home runs and getting walked a bunch.
It sounds like a good life, man.
Yeah,
He's
that sounds like what they're paying him for as well.
Pretty much, yeah.
And he's also stolen 4 bags.
Well,
so they're letting him run a little bit.
Yeah, man. Pico Armstrong's been having a great year, speaking of stealing bags, but I feel like Ohtani is probably still the favorite for MVP just because of how insane his offensive numbers are. I think he's still leading MLB in slugging and OPS this season. So, like, he really has been just one of the best players of all time.
All time? You're going there?
I didn't mean to say all time, but, of his generation.
That's fair. I think he is very close to one of the best all time. He's very close.
Mm-hmm.
And only because of how long he's played. And he's had a decent amount of seasons lost to injury as well. So we still really have not seen Shohei Ohtani's full sample size. So that's why we say that. But he
crazy to think.
Yeah, he is definitely top 3 of our generation for sure.
Yeah,
no argument there.
Yeah.
And on the pitching side, we mentioned last month that the Dodgers pitching was not good. It was not good. It was not getting the job done. This month, completely different story. And here is the best thing out of it. Clayton Kershaw is leading the charge.
Yeah, man.
In 3 games this month. He has a 1 ERA and a .89 whip.
Jeez.
It's beautiful.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
Great. It's like it's 10 years ago or something.
Yeah.
He's been having a great season since he got back from the injured list, and I'm glad to see it. I like when Clayton Kershaw does well.
100%. And then on top of that, we also have Tyler Glasnow coming back, pitching to a 2.5 ERA this month. Blake Snell is pitching to a 1.69 ERA this month. The starting pitching is coming back and getting it done.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like that was a big issue or a big reason why the Dodgers were struggling for a bit. We talked about the injuries that they've had, and they've been missing a lot of pitchers, but they're starting to get those guys back, and it seems like that's kind of just what they were waiting for. They were just waiting for Glasnow to come back. They were waiting for Blake Snell to come back to become. I mean, he's been one of the best pitchers this month in baseball. So things are, although it is close in the division, things are looking good for the Dodgers.
100%. So the team that's in contention with the Dodgers, we obviously got the Padres, the Daddies. So they have a pretty similar team OPS. In fact, it's so similar, the only difference is .001.
Wow.
The Padres have a 753 team OPS, while the Dodgers have a 752. Pretty good.
That is surprising to hear, because the Dodgers have scored 100 runs more than the Padres. I don't know if the Padres are just really bad at scoring runs, but that is surprising to hear.
Yeah, every team has their formula,
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, not a lot of RBIs going on for the Padres. They got 3 guys with over 10 RBIs this month. Those being Ramon Laureano, Jackson Merrill, and Jake Cronenworth. Which, it's nice to see Cronzone still kicking it, still doing some decent things. I liked his character. I liked his card in MLB The Show. Very fun swing. Luis Arias still getting a bunch of hits. Crazy.
That seems like that's all he does, man. Is just get hits.
Yeah, I mean, he only has 5 RBIs this month, so I mean that's more than me. So I'm not. But yeah, Ramon Laureano, it seems like he's really kind of making a comeback since getting suspended for being a little cheater.
Yeah, he
Well,
has been.
cheatski.
He was a big move for the Padres. The Padres made a couple big moves at the trade deadline. They had probably one of the best deadline performances out of any team, and Laureano was a big part of that. I feel like he's more well known for his glove, and his arm that he has, but he's been having his best season offensively this year, easily. Like he was doing great for Baltimore. He's still doing great for San Diego right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's hitting 339 in 15 games in San Diego, and he has a 679 slugging percentage so far.
Yeah.
He's got a 1.082 OPS as a Padre. So, I mean, they picked him up for his glove, and he's been doing great with his bat too, which is all they can ask for.
Yeah. And speaking of things to ask for, the Padres need to ask Manny Machado for a bit more. This man is batting .207 with 1 RBI this month.
Wow.
He's swinging with a bat with a hole in it.
Yeah, it's been a rough month for him as the guy who's probably been having the best season overall for the Padres offensively. He's been a big part of why they've been so successful. So they're definitely going to need him to pick it up more if they're going to contend with the Dodgers.
Yeah, him and Ryan O'Hearn as well. Ryan O'Hearn is batting just 182 this month.
Yeah, he's been struggling since he got to San Diego. He was doing great with Baltimore. I mean, first 5 seasons of his career, he was like a backup first baseman for Kansas City. He wasn't doing great. He was struggling. But then when he got to Baltimore, he really found a home. He turned into like one of the most consistent starting first basemen in baseball, and he's been great for them. He's got an OPS plus of like around 130 as an Oriole. So I imagine I'm a little surprised to see that he's been slumping since going to San Diego, but I imagine he'll be picking that up pretty soon. I think he'll get back to that season form that he was in before.
Yeah, same with Eugenio Suarez for Seattle.
Yeah, really weird why that he's been struggling so bad too.
Who knows? I mean, it seems like he's just falling into the con of what you would get from having him as an everyday player. You know what I mean? Like the pros are his power and his ability to hit a lot of guys in with his extra base hits and stuff, but the cons is, he's always prone to striking out a bunch, and that's precisely what's going on with him right now.
But 100%.
We're not talking about Seattle, we're talking about San Diego. And San Diego's pitching has been a little bit worse than the Dodgers. San Diego's pitching is averaging to a 3.76 ERA right now, so just about a half ERA higher than the Dodgers, but still they got some guys doing some pretty good work. Nestor Cortez doing good this month. He has a 2.89 ERA, 1.4 whip, a little high, but I mean, he is naturally a guy who pitches to a lot of contact anyway, so I feel like that's kind of to be expected per se for his game. But as long as the runs aren't coming in too much, which perceivably is being precisely the case, then I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, 100%.
Although one guy that they do need to do a little bit better in regards to, really holding the fort down per se, Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish has been struggling this month in 3 starts. He's got a 5.14 ERA. He does have 10 Ks per 9, which is still good, but I would take 0 strikeouts and 1 run over 10 strikeouts and 5 runs.
Yeah, that's fair, I think. Yeah, he's kind of been struggling in general since he got back from the IL. He's got a 5.97 ERA on the season in 8 starts, so hasn't been doing very well. But like you said, there is an upside. He has been striking guys out. So we'll see if that can, kind of translate into more run prevention. But, he is very late in his career. He's 38 years old now, actually, which is weird because it doesn't feel like it was that long ago where he was like striking out 200 batters for the Rangers,
Yeah. It's really cool to see that he's still kicking it around. And plus, I mean, I feel like he was a lot of people's favorite pitcher when he first came up. I mean, he was really fun to watch, and like his windup is pretty iconic in my opinion.
Yeah, totally. He was super exciting. He's a very unique pitcher, for that we've seen in the MLB, and like very replicable windup mechanics that a lot of people like really enjoyed.
Yeah, definitely. And one guy that is definitely doing better than how he started the year, Dylan Cease. This month he's pitched to a 1.12 whip and a 3.14 ERA. So he's definitely falling into that rhythm that he's been needing to, this whole season basically.
Yeah.
And he did not pick much of a better time basically.
Yeah, pretty much. This is it's a really good time to get hot. We keep mentioning it all video, but it's crunch time. It's really important games going on right now for the Padres. And if he was able to do this and like reach his potential that we know he can, like throughout the full season, the Padres might be 5 games ahead of the Dodgers in first place right now. Like I honestly think so. Like if he was pitching in his like 2021 2022 form, second place Cy Young to Justin Verlander, it could be a very different story for the Padres right now.
Yeah, not a bad take, sir. Not a bad take. And then obviously the man who's been holding down the fort for San Diego for most of the season, Mr. Nick Pivetta. In 3 games this month, he's pitched to a .71 whip.
Jeez.
And also, he's doing this while having a 5.9 Ks per 9. So he's pitching to contact and having a super low whip. That is hard to do.
That is very impressive, actually. Yeah. Wow. Yeah,
sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, and also, his pitch to strike percentage, 97%. He's pounding the zone and no one's hitting it.
Wow. That is very impressive, dude. Yeah, he's been incredible.
Yeah, man. Love to see it.
Yeah, he's been super consistent for the Padres. I mean, he's got the lowest hits per 9 in the American League, like all season. Like he's been incredible.
You said the American League.
Oh yeah, National League. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say that sums up our Western Showdown summary today. What would you say, CJ?
Yeah, I think so. I think this was really great. It's exciting baseball right now going on, and I'm looking forward to keeping up with it in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, 100%. And also, especially in the National League, there's so many divisional matchups going on right now. There's definitely going to be some shifts in the standings for sure. Either up or down. Either way, I'm down. Like, that J. Cole lyric, it could go up.
Oh, yeah.
It could go down. Either way, I'm prepared. Yeah. I would put the actual audio clip, but then we'd get copyrighted.
Get blocked so quick.
Yeah. We've had enough copyrights this year already. So
we're 2-0.
We are 2-0 on the disputes. That is pretty sick. But, we don't need to necessarily...
We can retire the copyright. Yeah. We'll retire undefeated.
Exactly. But yeah, if you guys made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Our next video is going to be another MLB video. We don't know exactly what. It might just be breaking down more stuff. Might be a fun video, as in, some trivia or game oriented, who knows. But we'll be doing that, and then after that, we'll be doing another sci-fi-esque video for sure. So stay tuned for that as well. We appreciate all of the support that you guys have been showing lately. We see it in the views, we see it in the likes, and we see it in the comments. We really appreciate it, and we see it, and we want to encourage it. We love it. We want to build it here. So if you guys have any stuff that you want us to talk about specifically, let us know, because we'll be very happy to talk about it. So yeah, hit that like button, drop a comment if you liked it, if you want stuff for us to talk about. And if you want to share it with your buddies who like baseball stuff or Marvel stuff, DC stuff, I'm sure they'd love it too. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the Sci-Fly Zone, where the multiverse meets the 7th inning stretch. Thank you guys for watching. Peace.